Hello, good morning. It is December 12th, 2016. So, something that I wanted to speak on this morning, one of the things that I need to explain to people, because some people don't know, I said people really need this education. You have to understand when somebody says something like, somebody trying to make Earth God, that is basically Wicca. And I explain this in due respect because I feel like there are some people who are Wicca and believe in God. Everybody has their own choices as far as how they choose to view things. But a lot of times when people are like, well, what did that mean when that one lady said they're trying to make Earth God? That's what that meant. That's Wicca. That's really when people say Mother Earth and all this kind of stuff. That's really when they think Earth is actually God. I don't have that belief. I believe, I really believe in God. That's the difference there. Period. So again, I stress to people, I like to share that brief history of the fact that my grandmother was actually originally Muslim, and then later on in life switched to Methodist. And so with me being raised Baptist, it's interesting that you see that I started being interested in Muslim practices as well. And the only reason I say that is sometimes it's really natural in your spirit person to want to kind of explore and say, okay, I feel like I'm missing some elements of this. It is the truth, because this is why I tell people before, there was one original book of law, and people started to interpret that differently in each religion. So again, I stress to when I got into the Baha'i faith and realizing that, oh, these are all these people just like me who kind of felt like I was raised this religion, but I'm looking at other religions. So when you stop, rather than fight, you start seeing the commonalities. This is why I like saying things like, oh, it's all in the terminology. That is the truth of the matter. You can spend all day fighting about it, but in the truth of the matter, that core of you believe in a higher power, that's what Baha'i faith is about. So going back to what I was expressing about Wicca, Wicca believes Earth is God. It is what it is. That's their belief. I like I said, I try not to judge too much. I just know that, I learned a lot having a couple of Wicca friends briefly about what that really meant. But at the end of the day, it was something that I decided, I'm like, I'm not down with that. I believe in a higher power. Now, that's me knowing I had the death experience and knowing what I experienced and saying, no, I got validation. This is where, again, I stress to people. If you feel like you need to research something rather than dive into it, I say the difference in that is you can read about Wicca all day long. That doesn't mean you need to start casting spells because you want to see. Let's see what happens if. That's when people get caught up into it. So that's why when I said Harry Potter syndrome, that's why you have a lot of the people that believe in God saying that this is why we were saying they got introduced into that world of demons and all that. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Introduced means somebody made it cool. Making it cool means you don't realize the danger in that. So I need to stress that to some of the children when you go, oh, I like Harry Potter. Don't misinterpret what people are saying when they said introduced them into the world of demons. You go, oh, they're demonized. And they know they're telling you the truth, but you don't realize the danger in that. And that's why when I said that veil broke, that's what I was talking about. There's a danger in being introduced to that world. Now people get it. Take care.